Hi class, welcome for today's lesson. We are going to learn new concepts today and I want you to listen carefully. Today's lesson is all about determining the effects of textual aids on the understanding of a text. Our learning objectives for this morning, at the end of the session, the students will be able to determine the effect of textual aids like advanced organizers, titles, nonlinear illustrations, etc. on the understanding of a text, compare new insights with previous learnings, and express appreciation of the use of textual aids on understanding of a text. Now let's define first what do you mean by textual aids. When we talk about textual aids, these are tools or materials that provide support and facilitate understanding of text. These aids are most of the time graphical outlines or images that give a general idea of a certain topic. Teachers as well as students often use textual aids like graphic organizers to illustrate complicated concepts for the purpose that students can understand them, while students use excellent tools to organize their thoughts, especially in writing. Let's proceed to the 5 commonly used textual aids. This morning, we are going to discuss 5 commonly used textual aids. Let's start with concept map. As the term main idea and detail suggest, such kind of graphic organizer is often a great tool for brainstorming and divergent thinking. To create one, either with hand-drawn tools or digital software, you need to draw a shape in the center and then draw divergent lines with shapes where you can put the secondary ideas. For example, if the student is going to give a presentation on how serious environment pollution, he would write the central idea, environment pollution is serious, in the center shape, with aspects illustrating how environment is being polluted, such as air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, light pollution, etc. If more supporting details are available, that would add more shapes to the secondary level. Next is the compare and contrast organizers or Venn diagram. If you need to compare and contrast 3 objects, processes, or events, consider using compare and contrast organizers such as a Venn diagram. This graphic organizer consists of overlapping circles. There are sections of the organizer in which only 2 circles are overlapping, and there is one section in which all 3 circles overlap. This section would include any information that is true for all 2 headings. Now, we usually use a Venn diagram when we compare 2 characteristics, 2 characters from a story, 2 objects, and 2 processes or events. Let's proceed to the sequence chart. Sequence refers to a set of events, actions, numbers, etc., which have a particular order and which lead to a particular result. This graphic organizer looks like several boxes connected by arrows. A sequence chart organizer shows a series of steps or events in order in which they take place. The leftmost box contains the first event in the chronological sequence, and the rightmost box contains the last event. This graphic organizer is perfect for writing or reading a short story, understanding the flow of a series of historical events, or understanding how flashbacks fit into a novel. Next is the cause and effect diagram. It is a visual representation of the factors that might contribute to an observed effect or phenomenon that is being examined. The interrelationships among the possible causal factors are clearly shown. This diagram highlights the direct relationship between different events or concepts. Now let's proceed to the plot diagram. A plot diagram is a tool that is commonly used to organize a story into certain segments. Once the parts of the plot diagram are identified, it is easier to analyze the content. A plot diagram also gives common framework for analyzing and understanding written prose. Now let's define the parts of plot diagram. Let's start with the exposition. The exposition or the introduction introduces the characters, describes the setting, and establishes the problem in the story. The second one is the rising action. The rising action is when the suspense builds and the problem gets worse and becomes more complicated. There are often multiple steps or parts in the rising action. The third one is the climax. The climax is the turning point in the story. It is usually the most exciting part in the story and the part that makes the reader want to keep reading. The fourth one is the falling action. The falling action is the events that happen after the climax that lead to a resolution or ending to the story. The fifth one or the last part is the resolution. The resolution is the outcome of the story. It is how things end up or turn out for the characters. That's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. See you next week. Bye bye.